Hi friends, welcome back to the channel. So on this video, we're actually going to give you an update on our island tourism project. Some of you already know about it. We've only mentioned it a few times on some of our videos, but a lot of you have been asking, and we decided to do this video to give you a really good update on what's going on, our plans, and how you can be a part of it. So we're Carlos and Laura. Obviously, I'm doing this solo, but we were both raised in Canada. I moved to Canada when I was 9. I was born on Pico Island, and we divide our time now between Canada and Pico Island, Portugal. Laura and I, and we love it. We are entrepreneurs. I've been in the travel business for over 35 plus years, and we truly believe in the Azores and this beautiful area of the planet. And it's really an amazing place to live or to visit. I wanted to get a bit more personal about our dream project and what it means to us, really. And it's not always easy putting yourself out there. I think I've been working on this for a while. It's taken me quite a while to decide to do it, and because a lot of times people just keep it to themselves or they're afraid. But we decided, look, um, some of you might think, what is he doing? But I know a lot of you that understand when you have a dream and you want to fulfill that dream and what it takes. It takes for you to put yourself out, to leave yourself a little bit open. And this is exactly what we're doing with this video, and we feel good about it. And we've had the experience of having amazing comments in the last 3 years, people wanting to help, support, ideas. And you know what? This is how it's done. I mean, at the end of the day, it's sitting across from someone that loves what you're doing and giving you some ideas, a pat on the back, go for it, some encouragement. And this is, this is sort of, we're not any different, right? So we've been exploring different ways to get this project off the ground. There's obviously, we'll touch on a few throughout the video. But this is one way, just to be initially right up front, is to be honest. And we do our videos in that form. We're pretty transparent in what we put out there. So throughout the video, we're going to touch on what the project's about. We're going to touch obviously about the main character of our project, which is Pico Island in the Azores. If some of you don't know where Pico Island is, I'm going to touch a bit on who we are, Laura and I, and what type of funding program we are considering, right? And so this is pretty much sums it all up. Our goal is to create a self-funding, sustainable company business model, right? We want to do this in really this organic, I guess, kind of way. The word sustainable it's been used a lot, especially in tourism, not and other industries. But I know Portugal government, when it comes to tourism, they use the word a lot, sustainable. Why people would want to come to the Azores, and we agree with that. We got to do it in that way, eco-friendly, sustainable, and organic. And I think this is how we're choosing to do it. And hopefully you'll stick around through the whole video. You might be surprised in some of the things we're thinking of doing. And yeah, I really hope you stick around. So let's talk about the project. Okay, so how did it begin? Basically, the best way to describe it is two people, a parcel of land, and a dream. And the original idea goes back at least 10 years. Originally, I started thinking of this pre-Laura, so it'd be over 13 years ago. But since about 10 years, I've known Laura for 12, for at least 10 of these years. It's all we've been talking about is Pico Island, getting there, and creating this special place.
Hi, we're in the area of Sao Mateus on Pico Island. This area is known for its vineyards, which I know being revived, and a lot of wines being made here now. And it's also known now, it's being discovered for people doing the newest area for vacation rentals. The key about this area, this village, is the location. It's the closest proximity to Pico Mountain. It's kind of covered right now. But that's 2,400 meters above sea level, okay? And there's some people have already started putting vacation rentals. I believe that there's going to be more coming. We would like to do ours right in this area. This is where we have the land, and to be behind that mountain, in front of that mountain, and with the ocean in front of us, Atlantic Ocean, and the vineyards, with close proximity to the village. It's the perfect place. It's very quiet. In the morning you hear the birds, at night you have the other birds. and it's just a very peaceful, tranquil area of Pico. Most areas are tranquil, but in this especially is very, very tranquil. So you're away from the main road. You said these smaller dirt roads. In 2 seconds, you can leave your vacation rental and just go down to the ocean. You can drive up to the lake, so 20 minutes from here. You're in the middle of the two main villages, 15 minutes roughly each way. It's an amazing spot. So if you want some peace and relaxation, amazing hiking, easy hiking as well. You could all these. There's a lot of these roads around here that you could be doing that. If you want to do a little bit more of extreme, you can go higher up. And yeah, this is the area of people that I believe is an up and coming.
Basically, it's pretty straightforward and simple. We wanted to create a simple, nature-friendly island retreat on Pico Island in the Azores. Obviously, we'd be in the middle of the North Atlantic. For some of you that don't know much about these islands, there's nothing around us except nature. You know, the ocean, the Atlantic Ocean. It's a sanctuary. We've done so many videos, kind of just talking about how amazing this area is. So we'll put a few links for that. But the dream has never died. Let's put it that way. And together, we have a lot of fun. We've had a lot of fun, developing it, and now to the point where um, we decided to get serious about 3 years ago. We had a lot of fun, a lot of stress with it as well. But this is a dream that we can't let go. So this is why we're going to give it our best shot to bring it to life. We want to keep it simple. We want to create a place of peace, care, wellness, tranquility. We want this project to have all these traits, just like the island does. We basically want to create an end destination within an end destination. Okay. Pico checks pretty much all the boxes when people visit. They have all the checks of the peace, tranquility, and wellness, nature, low cost of living, high quality of life. It checks a lot of the positive boxes. And the project that we want to create, we want this place to just slide in there and be born from what's there, which is the lava and be surrounded by nature. And I think this is why we want to build this type of tourism project. Our concept is many things, but the two that come to mind is we want to build a village within a village. Okay. The village will be made as a gated tourism facility with a glamping personality, character. That's the difference. We'll get more into glamping as we go, what it means, but glamorous camping, I guess that's the meaning of it. But we'll get more into it to really, so you really understand what this means. This is why it's so different, and this is why it's pretty much one of the closest things you can build that does not harm nature. It's not invasive, and this is why we want to have this. We want to go this road. Less is more. So this type of place is unique, just based on what I've mentioned here. Done a lot of research in other destinations, and these thrive, okay, because it's needed. People gravitate towards them. I mean, being one of a kind, and this is everyone that starts something wants to be unique, right? And have one of a kind. I really believe that this will be one of a kind within a beautiful place called Pico Island. I think this is, the concept's going to have so many different things involved, but this is how we want this to be. At the end of the day, we want to have a place where people can gather and just enjoy themselves and within this environment that's already been created, but be a bit of a home away from home and be really connected to nature. So why did we want to build this? We want to share it. It's simple as that. We already are sharing the Pico Island, this beautiful place, through our tourism business. We, on our packages, we already share this place when we tell our friends, people that have never been there. We share this already. Now we wanted to have a special place where people can meet up and spend time home away from home within the nature, and continue sharing the island this way within our retreat. And with basically nature lovers. That's who's attracted to this area of the planet. They really are nature lovers. They're like-minded, and I think we want to continue to do that. And we don't just want to share it, like we want to share it with care, because there's a lot of tourism that's done without care. We want to have care because of nature. We need to do that, and the planet needs. That's why I said at the beginning, We need more of these type of tourism projects, places. People will see that. People will gravitate towards that. Um, we all benefit, right? If we all put some care into what we're doing, especially without hurting nature, we're all going to benefit from it, right? And not only the company benefiting, but the local economy and the tourists, because it's all about you coming over to this beautiful place, and we want it to be like home to you when you are there. So a little bit of history about this project. Just going back, basically, we had put a lot of work into coming up with this project, renders, business plan, everything. And we then got to the point where we were ready to submit it, which we did to the Azores Tourism. Well, this is going back 2021, 22. So it's been about 3 years ago. And COVID came, COVID stayed. The project, it takes a while to get approved. So we learned a lot through the process. But during COVID, during not knowing how we're gonna come out of COVID, like planet in general, the tourism business, we decided to analyze the project. We pulled it to analyze it some more, learn what we were seeing around us in tourism because of COVID, and glad that we did, because what happens is, there's always positive that comes out of something bad, and I think other businesses did the same thing, and you have to learn from it. And I think we pulled it and revised the project, created a new plan of attack, so to speak. And this new plan, we're still working on it, and this is it's an ongoing thing. It has a life of its own. But this is pretty much where we are now. Going back when it would be ready to be submitted, if that's what we wanted to do. Is it the right time or not? Yeah, so it's been a while. Time's flying by. Meanwhile, we bought our house, renovated. We learned a lot more. We learned more about, construction, workers, bill. So it's a funny way of working out, because we now have a lot more knowledge that we didn't have before. That brought some fear into the play. That now, learning 3 years later to the present, we feel some areas are not scary for us anymore because we've kind of gone through it, and it's just getting more familiar with the lay of the land on the island, Portugal, government, et cetera, et cetera. So that's pretty much the history, and right now is what matters. And we can't go back, and we can just learn from the past. Now we want to plan this properly, and with other people, we can't do this ourselves, like we mentioned. And I think it's bright. Tourism is bright. I That's our opinion, and I do see the reflect right now in the Azores. It's growing in popularity even more than I could imagine. It's not mass tourism, but there's a lot of people wanting to be in the nature there, and I think this is probably the best time ever to launch a business like this. I also want to mention a little bit about the government, give a bit of a shout out. Through this whole process, obviously, we started this process where we're still in Canada before going over and spending more time there. So there's a lot of emails, learning about, there was incentives, everything. I can't believe, like, everyone we contacted and then met when we went over with this project to pitch it and to talk to local government, the local there on the island, and the Azores Tourism who approves these projects. You name it. They were all great. They're all very patient with us. Um, and we have asked a lot of questions, like I mentioned, and we're still asking. We'll continue to ask more questions. A lot of there's new things coming on board. But I just wanted to say, because sometimes there's always a lot, people knock the government, and I'm sure there's no perfection there. Not everything is perfect. But I just want to say our experience, in case there's someone else wanted to kind of start a business in Portugal. Ours was, to this point, was very good, and they were very helpful, patient. So shout out to the government, the Portuguese government. Our new plan is pretty much all about simplicity. After revising and going back, kind of all the analyzing we did, we just want to say some of the things were a little bit overboard, I guess. We're just trying to create something. Sometimes you can go too much into it, which ends up costing more, longer to build, and so forth. So after learning, and COVID taught us a lot about nature, going back into nature, we kind of just said, let's just go with that, because this is why we're there. So less is more. We decided to basically lead with that, and so build less, harm less, and promise less. Okay, because we believe in under promising, over delivering. We get really excited and we want to, it's better for someone to come with really good expectations, but not over, right? And then when they leave, they're just blown away, because of what they experienced. And I think this is everything we're putting into developing this plan, the simplicity of it all, has we kept all this in mind. Okay, so and I believe this is the way to create something special, especially if it involves nature. It's important to really take care of it, and if you do, that can become a really big selling feature. What's going to make the place extra special? Our plan calls us to build a private, full-service tourism facility with multiple styles of units. A facility is part of nature. A facility is connected to the village, our neighbors. Build a company that has a link to the rest of the island. Have a business that will add support and support the local. Have a business that will add and support the local economy, and a company that will develop tourism with care. I guess you can call these also like our six commandments. We'll add more, but I think we need to go with this, to really believe in this and lead with this. I think it's important. This is what I mean by doing it with care. Our private facility is going to have a swimming pool, a common area with barbecue, a reception, basically 10 ocean view units, again, different styles, an eatery, not large, smaller, but like a cafe. Basically, the perfect place to re-energize, to spend time with the other people that are visiting the island, share stories of the day. We have a very comfortable, friendly facility within all the nature. Our facility is also going to have, like we mentioned, three different types or styles of units. One, wood cabin, a wood pod, and luxury safari tents. We think it's important to have the variety, so people can choose their own experience, because it's really about the experience. And I think this is one way we're going to be different. That's why it's unique. And I think these three types of units do not harm the environment. They're non-invasive. And I think we wanted to, in order to really not hurt the nature or harm the nature, these types of units fit in very well. They're all going to have amazing views of either the volcano, the vineyards, the ocean, everything. So they're well placed within a beautiful, special piece of property that I think um, is going to make this place very special. And that's why we keep saying that, because I think we can really visualize it as if it's already there. All these units are not going to be huge. I guess less is more. So we're going to continue with the concept of about 35 to 42 square meters for the cabin, about 18 to 21 square meters for the pod, and the tent about 35 square meters. That's really what we're thinking. Obviously, we're still developing this, but pretty much set on something being less. We don't want to, get rid of a lot of the trees that we have on the land. There's really beautiful trees. You want to keep a lot of that, so we got to go less, and that's what we want to do anyways. Like I mentioned, the views are amazing, and where you are. Full self-catering units as well. They all will have, you can cook either inside or outside, bathroom, shower, all the comforts. So we know that the luxury is more in the nature. That's how we believe in, but it's good to have some comfort, right? When you, especially with glamping, people, we're always going to have the camping part of it in there, which is the fire outside, the log sitting around, marshmallows, that feel that we love. That's why we love camping. But the luxury part of it is when you're sleeping, you're not sleeping on the ground, you're in a comfortable cabin, you're in a comfortable tent, and you're in a pod. Just want to add a little bit more about the safari tents, because for a lot of people they can be scary. People are aware of yurts being used in other places around the world. These type of safari tents are the highest quality, already being used in places like safaris in Africa, Australia, Europe's full of them. So there's many types to choose from, and we obviously are going with a particular safari tent that's really top of the line. And I know people worry about the wind and this and that, so it's part of the adventure, right? So if they've already been tested and they're the high quality, well protected product as far as the materials, we feel very comfortable in using them. A lot of people want the tent, trust me, there's some people but that is why we want to have three different types of units. They're all going to have comfort. And maybe one year someone comes, stays in the tent, and the next year they come back and stay in the cabin, so, or in the, that's what we're seeing on other popular glamping tourist facilities around the world. And I've done a lot of research, and glamping is here to stay. It's a $3 billion business, continues to grow. A lot of people at the beginning thought it was a fad. So we'll get a little bit more into the glamping there, but I just wanted to mention the tents because I know sometimes people say tents. Whoa, what kind of tents? It's not like camping, the tents. We're talking about we're talking about a great unit. We're talking about a product that stands. When people wind up sleeping in a tent with the nature, there's something about it. And we just wanted to make sure we had this type of experience within this nature destination. Why Pico Island? So some of you that watch the channel that are listening to me right now, they know why. Okay, but there's a lot of people that come on to our channels. I guess 75% of the time they're new. So, and if you're not familiar with Pico Island, it's in the Azores in general. There's not too many places on the planet like these islands. Okay, so you're gonna find beauty all around, every corner, countryside, the ocean. Here you can have both. Okay, some people sometimes have a hard time. Do I go to the countryside, the ocean? You have both all the time. Okay, they have this raw volcanic soul to it, so that's why they say it's similar to Hawaii, New Zealand, Iceland. You're going to have these, not the extremes, let's say, of Iceland, but you're going to have you're going to feel, if you've been to all these three destinations that I mentioned, you'll say, yeah, there's something about here. I also see in the islands and on Pico the greenery, and if you go to the highlands, it reminds me of Ireland, for example, places like Scotland. um, there are vineyards like nowhere else. Our vines are the way the vine is grown. It's UNESCO protected, very unique. The culture, the tradition, friendliness of the people. The island is extremely safe. Portugal is the fifth safest country in the world. If you're on an island like Pico, you have extra protection. That's what I think. I feel that the peace. You need that. People want to wait. There's a lot of crazy stuff going around. If you're going to travel, someone spend a month, or even if it's a week or less, you don't want to be worried about anything. You just want to be enjoying yourself. And I think it'd be a shame if you have all this nature and you're constantly in fear. So that's not the case here. Um, it's also my birthplace. I have a special connection, a warmth to it, an extra connection, I guess. But I believe, knowing what I know now, just like Laura, because she wasn't born there and she's like a local now, I would be like Laura. I would discover this place and fall in love with it. You are on an island, the North Atlantic, part of Portugal, the European Union, surrounded by this beautiful ocean called the Atlantic Ocean. Can you believe it? I mean, when I fly there and just this blue Atlantic Ocean, you're landing on these little dots. If you look at a map, it looks like it's so remote, but you can literally get there from Toronto in about 5 to 6 hours. From Boston, 4 to 5. A couple hours here in Lisbon, mainland Portugal, rest of Europe. So it's well connected. Just has that feel that it's middle of nowhere, and there isn't anything close to us. So um, it's a special place. The area that we chosen is the south coast. So Pico obviously has different sides. It's all beautiful in our opinion, but we chose the south coast. I have a special connection to the south coast. Um, and again, like the rest of the island, it was surrounded by the nature, right? And everything I mentioned in this just now, the south coast has it. It might have a little bit more sun, they say. I'm not sure compared to the north. I'm not sure. I think it's pretty much the same, to be honest. It's just that you find your own special place, and this is where you want to build it. That saying, "Build it, and they will come." And we have already a connection through not only being born there, but spending so much time there. And we knew early on that this was the place we wanted to build in the south side of the island, and it's perfect for this glamping tourism. It's just perfect for this kind of concept. Here we answer why glamping. So for some of you that are not even familiar with this glamping, like I mentioned, it's glamorous camping. Okay, and really, why did we choose this? It's a very unique tourism product. And when we started hearing more about it, I think when we started looking into what type of place we wanted to have, not to hurt nature, we started researching other places. We visited other places. We stayed in other glamping places. We have some here in Canada, and it's incredible. I mean, when we started to realize how amazing this, it wasn't a fad. This was a place. There were some places that were been around since like 15 years ago. It's really exploding, I think, in the last 5 to 6, 7 years, and especially after COVID, when people just needed to be in open spaces, not closed spaces. It just blew up, and it's here to stay, and it's just incredible. It allows you to have multiple units. People sometimes are in caravans, sometimes they're in even mobile homes. Uh, like I mentioned, cabins, tents, big tents, small tents, yurts, pods, etc. So, and perfect for Pico Island. I believe if you're in an area of nature, nothing else is you really don't want to start building like crazy, with cement and harming the footprint there. It is a fast growing tourism segment. It is very fastly growing, and you know it's we need to have this type of tourism. Again, I believe that we need to have more. So this is why we gravitated towards the glamping. It is the closest to connection, I believe, when you're in a tent above ground. There's separation. You have it like you're on a deck, and you can feel the nature around you and hearing it, and just the overall feel. There's nothing else that's closest to nature than staying in a tent or one of these small cabins. Okay, um, eco-friendly, sustainable, low disturbance, to the earth, low footprint. Very little to do with what we know as camping, which I did camping when I was younger. It has the luxury, right? The camping, like I mentioned, is on the outside. Start the fire, the marshmallows. It's being outside. The camping is still going to be that. You're still going to have that in play. Cooking outside on a barbecue, sitting around the campfire, having a few drinks, that's there. But then the luxury comes into the actual units. Nowadays, you, you have a beautiful bathroom, you have the kitchen, you have a living area, couch, leather couch, beautiful bed. This is what you have. So it's little to do with the camping I know. That's where the glamorous comes in. And this is why what glamping is, really, at the end of the day. And this is why we want our retreat to have, we want to have this strong glamping personality, character, soul, and function. Okay. We never went away from this to have this as soon as we started at the beginning. And we still are, we believe in it more now than we did before. How can you help? Right? So the main reason we're doing this video is to put the word out, create some awareness, interest. People that would fit into this are like-minded nature lovers who might want to play a part on bringing this to life. Obviously, if you've made it through the video and you're still listening to me, you still have the interest. So there are basically two ways to become part of our group or our special project. You become one of our ambassadors. Okay, so and ambassadors would be if you're either going to become an investor, and there's only a few of those, or one of the vacation time membership. Okay, and we're not going to get into too much detail here, just a little bit coming up, but those are the two ways that you'd be playing a big part on making and bringing this special place to life. You can let us know by emailing me if you're interested. Just leave that note right now, and you can just get a hold of me. And if any question you might have the time, would love to chat. A little bit more about being one of our ambassadors. Obviously, the two ways an investor is pretty straightforward: return on investment, and you could also spend time at the retreat, at the property. But the unique one would be the vacation time membership. We're really putting something together that's unique here. When we have more, we're going to do maybe a video just on that. But meanwhile, just if you want to be put on a list, just let me know, and when we have the information, I'll let you have it first. But basically, what we're thinking, you can kind of tune back to us. Just send us a comment or email telling us what you think. It's basically how we visualize this is a low number, 20, 21 people that will be the vacation members, vacation time members, ambassadors, that would get to stay, let's say, for a month or a certain time. Well, right now we think a month and for 5-10 years. Pay obviously choose to stay either in high season, mid season, or low season. They each would have a price to it. Obviously, we're doing everything with the affordability in mind. That makes sense. It's valuable. It has to be worth it for us and for the people coming. But this is something we're still working on. It's one thing we're really spending a lot of time on, and but I think it could work really well, especially with these small number of individuals that will play a huge part of bringing this to life. I think it's just can form not only a member but a friendship. And from this group, who knows, maybe that you'll play a bigger part on other things. Again, this is we've never done this before. We're just thinking outside the box and putting this out there. And feel free to positive or negative comment, no problem. I mean, there's no we're not like Russia where all comments are welcome. But we like the constructive criticism ones because it helps us kind of, who knows, maybe some of you might have a special, want to share a special idea that you might have. We're open-minded. But just to leave you with a little bit of this information, what stuff that we're working on. And this would be the biggest part. Obviously, the part of the funding is important. We have different types of funding. This is just one of them. Pre-stay booking, pre-stays. Um, we have that implemented as well in the plan. That's normal. I think pretty much any other tourism facility, big companies like Hilton's of the world, they all have these components in there. So I kind of looked at them, not reinventing the wheel. I'm just putting something that might fit into this in a small way. But to us, it's big. It's a big way. These bigger companies, it's on a whole other level. But I think for us, there could be something special here to create, and we could all have a hand on playing. We could all play our part in it. And it's up to you. If you want to be one of the ambassadors, you know where to reach me. Send me an email. Love to hear from you, even if you're not interested, but you want to share some of your thoughts, feel free. Another way that that you can help, again, this is developing. This is how we're sort of learning what we've learned the last 3 years, is through volunteer. Now, this could be in different areas. Could be after the place is built. Could be building it. We have to look again at thinking outside the box. We might come or meet individuals that are, really love what we're doing and really want to see this place come to life. And it's all on the table here. We're putting it all on the table. So if it takes someone to, that's a carpenter or whatever, and then this is how we're going towards um, putting in a volunteer program, but this is more down. We're still a bit far from that. I just wanted to lay there as far as ways that you could help. Touching a little bit more on the funding and why we chose this type of crowdfunding. Obviously, we chose it because it's used out there, and it's the Kickstarter programs that platforms that people are building their beautiful places with. People are supporting them, so this is more direct. It's more organic within our business that we want to do pretty much the same thing. It's like those Kickstarter programs, fairly similar, same type of, it's crowdfunding, right? So where individuals wind up making a difference in the monetary way and other ways as well. Um, but we see that this ambassador's vacation would be for someone special that wants to spend time on the island. You could also, if you didn't want to spend, your family can use it. So there's different ways to use this membership, right? So, but again, we're still developing. I don't want to get too much into it. I'm kind of excited about it, and I kind of want to talk more, but there's still a lot of stuff under development. We're still creating it. Um, but we really wanted to stay away if we could from we always using our own money. We want to do that through our partners or that investors and through this membership. Obviously, the bank is an option. There's also incentives that we can use that I know a lot about, but I know the good and the bad. So we also don't have to build this. It'll be built in time that it needs to be built. And I think we're open-minded. We know what needs to be done as far as what kind of funding we want and don't want. But I think
this way, I think it's if we can get to a place where we have people involved with us in this way that love the island, that want to spend time on the island, that wants to create something special, then I think this is the kind of funding that we want to have people involved in, right? So yeah, I think this is it. I know I want to talk more about it, but um, you know, I don't want the funding to stop this. There's to stop us from doing it either. We have to kind of let the fear go and just put it out there, and I guess hope that people are listening to me right now and they're saying, "Look, man, this is really special. If this place existed, I definitely would spend time there. What a great thing for the island." I mean, he wants to aside in, this is what I want the reaction to be like after, the ones of you that are still listening, connected to the video, that want to get excited about it as well. And these kinds of it's the ambassadors chosen for that reason. Not only that we want to, yes, we want to share this place. We want it to be successful. We want to make money, of course, but we also want to give money to charity. We want to do local help with in areas that need help, like just protecting the planet, marine life, whatever it takes. Even cats. Getting control of all these cats that are just feral cats that are out there. We've done our part. We rescued one that we have, travels back and forth, but we want to give back. It's not all about just making the money. That's why the first thing I mentioned is we want to share this place with the like-minded people that want to spend time in a very safe, peaceful environment. And yep, so if you want to make this happen, you just send me an email. So before ending the video, just wanted to say a few words first to our followers. Listen, you guys have been with us, or I guess true fan, true follower, that tune in often, pretty much every video and comment, and you've been there since basically from the beginning, and we appreciate you guys. Thanks for all your support. Hopefully, who knows? Maybe there's some of you that might fit in here that might find this interested. This is obviously the ultimate support, but I know a lot of you want to love Pico, love the Azores, and who knows? Maybe you love this project and you want to help out. So you know what to do. But aside from that, just hopefully you continue to support us, share put the word out. Maybe you know someone that might fit into this area, that might be interested in more than just doing the like or this all that stuff, which is all great. This is another level, but just feel free to pass the message to them. So I also want to say something to my family and friends. So many of you that know us, know me, Laura, for a long time. We've been talking about, even before getting over to the island, about passion we have, doing this project, and we probably talked your ears off, some of you, and we'll continue to do so, by the way. But who knows? Some of you, you've always supported us, encouraged us. We get pumped up by that, so we really appreciate that. Having said that, there's also some of you that are afraid for us, from like sometimes it's your closest family that is afraid for you, and they're nervous, but don't be nervous. It'll all work out in the end. Some of you have shown even more interest of of the project itself. This would be the time to kind of come on board, knowing a little even more, maybe a little bit more of what we're doing. If you want more information, I know a lot of great people that a lot of talent, and it'll be great for maybe you fall into one of these. Maybe you want to be one of our ambassadors. So, but aside from that, I just wanted to thank for your support. I know this video is a little different. Like I mentioned at the beginning, I just needed to put myself out there to talk about this project, to make it create awareness, engage, and this is what this video is all about. It's probably not going to be a video that's going to get lots of views. That's okay, but hopefully there's some of you that connected with the video and the project that we're doing, that might want to find out more about being part of it. So send me an email is probably the best way. Really appreciate even ideas from you guys, suggestions, anything, your thoughts. And yeah, I think I'm going to end it on that note. Hopefully the video wasn't too long and you got to learn about us and what we're doing. and that goes for the ones that already follow the channel, and for some of you that maybe are watching us for the first time. Really appreciate everything. I mean, if you can take the time to like the video, support, it really helps the channel grow. Send comments, and hopefully share the video. That's important as well. So thanks so much for hanging out with me, and really means a lot, and see you on the next video.